In today's video, we're going to be breaking down a $1.2 million per month Shopify store in the fashion space. And I'm going to highlight one of the things that they're doing that I think actually applies to pretty much any Shopify store out there. So it's going to be very valuable. And I'm going to be pulling from real tangible data that I'm getting from my own internal store here that's doing $1,000 a day of profit. I took the screenshot just a little bit ago. And also from the $9 million per year that my agency oversees. So I have an agency called Akemi. It's one of my longest standing businesses actually, and the team in there is helping businesses make AI creative systems and run those ads. So basically making meta winning ads with AI and the systems that power those. But that's besides the point. Let's get right into it. So this store is called Supermade. And one of the cool things about them is that they're getting a lot of traffic. So they're getting 450,000 monthly visitors. And I know you might be wondering, well, how do we know their sales? We don't actually know their sales, and we actually don't really know their traffic either. This is just an estimate. This is a research tool, but nothing is entirely accurate all the time. Sometimes it's dead on, but sometimes it's not. But we're still going to use it as a baseline. It's just for fun. And they're getting 450,000 monthly visitors, right? But what we can see from this demo store here that I have, we're getting 1,000 visitors and doing $3,300 in sales, and that's with like a $60 average order value. These guys have a much higher average order value, or maybe not, but I believe they do. I'm guessing their average order value is certainly in the hundreds of dollars, or at least 90s. So they're probably doing even more, maybe like 1.5 or 2 million per month. But one of the first things that I wanted to highlight is the style and design of the store and the products. You can clearly see that there is a branded element to it. There's certainly an element of lifestyle. And this is one of the things that I actually made a little TikTok and short about. I may have posted it to YouTube already. I don't really remember. But basically, one of the things that I've realized in the past, I don't know, just recently, is that some of the biggest Shopify stores, the most successful ones out there, are actually lifestyle stores. So they're selling a lifestyle. They're not just selling products, but they're selling a lifestyle, and the products are like a vehicle to sell that lifestyle. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but it certainly makes sense to me. And especially when I start to break down some of the brands that are killing it and also running ads that are just emphasizing the lifestyle. So you can see this is kind of like a grungy streetwear brand. It's like very, it's not whimsy goth, but it kind of is whimsy goth. We've talked about the whimsy goth trend in the past. I discovered it through the ShoppyLab.ai platform. And I actually discovered this brand through the platform as well, through the Discovery tab, where you can just browse ads. It's pretty cool. Certainly one of the tools that we use in my tool, we developed ShoppyLab to create an accelerator where we could actually find talent and also help small brands have tons of tools at their disposal for a fraction of the cost that it would cost them separately. And there's also courses in a live community where I do a weekly call. It's pretty cool. But you can see these ads are actually really simple. It's just a carousel ad, literally. And this is something that they launched recently. And when I noticed it, I was like, oh man, this doesn't even feel like an ad, but it's definitely selling a lifestyle, like you can see these people are very fashionable. They look very unique. They look confident. Here they got the anime aesthetic. Here they got, it's just interesting, right? It just looks interesting. And sometimes that's all it takes, I guess, to have a winning ad. But you can see what's interesting to me is just the blend of things here. It's almost like a mood board. Like they're advertising a mood board of their clothes. And I just thought that was pretty cool. Like, it's bold, in my opinion, to run an ad like this. It's not traditional at all. And they actually run many ads. So they have over 500 different ad results, which is a lot of ads, right? And that's what it takes to scale on Meta. Certainly, it's not a requirement to have 500 ads, but that definitely gives them a lot of data that they're getting all the time that they can make decisions on. And that's the valuable thing about testing AI creatives. And that's why the biggest brands test the most ads actually these days, because it gives them so much data and they can take that data and get actionable insights from it. And the small brands, unfortunately, don't have the budget to produce that kind of creative, to have those kinds of creative systems. And that's exactly where Akemi comes in. And that's why we've been developing those systems. I like to call it sort of like an AI lab these days, an applied AI lab, because we're seriously doing so much with AI these days. where wait, where did I go? Oh yeah, their ads. I want to analyze their ads because we're setting up systems for AI creatives. We're setting up systems for customer service, DMs, comments, email, and all of this to give the small business owner an advantage over the big guys. That's really what it's all about, to me at least. Anyways, if we scroll all the way down here, we're going to find some of their longest standing ads. And this is one of the interesting things that I like to do when I do research is just look at the longest standing ads. Like I mentioned, I actually never just like live and die by the data that I find because data can be inaccurate and it can be inconclusive, because it's possible that some of these guys have these ads on for a long time, but maybe they just left the ad on in a campaign that's off, for example, so it'll just show as active. That definitely can happen. So always do research with an open mind, right? Where you're just trying to find ideas and inspiration. You're not really trying to, find something like, we don't need to know that this is like extremely accurate data. And if you do need to know that this is extremely accurate data, then like, I don't know what kind of business you're running, but you got to do your own thing, right? You can't always just copy everything from other people. But you can see all of their oldest ads are actually big sale alerts. And a lot of brands may shy away from that kind of stuff because you feel like it devalues the brand. And it certainly can devalue a brand. I don't think that's untrue. I think that's objectively true. If you're always running a sale, people may not trust, I guess, just like your sales maybe. But at the same time, I really think people overplay that. I think it's kind of fun to run offers and sales. I think the way that these guys are doing it, for example, is pretty interesting. I want to actually see their Instagram and see like what they're running on their Instagram. They have this sort of like infinite feed, which is like I can't click it fast enough. Let's see if I can pull a faker move over here. Let's see. Boom. Oh, no. No, I almost did it. Okay, here. I'll just go to the bottom of this one. But they're doing it on every page, it seems. They have this like, oh, actually, no, they don't. But that's pretty genius, actually, for like your home page to just have like endless scrolling. I think that's applicable to really any brand, whether it's a fashion brand, whether it's a general store, really anything. But I want to see here. They actually don't get a ton of engagement, but as you see, like they are just posting a lot more branded stuff on their page. This is pretty cool. And they're not always talking about sales on their actual feed. So their ads are very much sales oriented, but their feed is not so much that way. It's more of like a mood board, like I mentioned before. And again, one of the things that I've been realizing, I've been talking to some creative teams out there. You know who you are if you're watching. And I kind of learned that it's really, you can apply this to any business actually, creating this sort of like mood board for your brand. And that's kind of what a lot of brands actually are, just like a specific lifestyle. And that's why people shop those brands, not always necessarily because they have the best products, right? Of course, you should always aim to have a great product, but that's not always the reason why somebody buys from one brand or another. There's just a million different reasons, right? But anyways, their landing pages are really clean. They got strong offers. So that's basically what I was getting at, is that they run strong offers. And because of that, they probably see a high conversion rate and they're just constantly getting a lot of hype. And this is actually kind of a nice little bar. They are saying that they run small. They're not true to size. So they're very transparent about that, which I can appreciate a lot. I think people are afraid of being transparent, but I think you shouldn't be so afraid of it. I think there's actually benefits to it, right? You're kind of setting the right expectation with your customers. So people that, maybe they don't care so much about true to size, they just care about design, right? They will come back to your brand. So yeah, as you see, they got a lot of different interesting products and their product photography is super good. Like these guys really crush it. These are very original kinds of designs. I love to see it. And you see they're collaborating with other artists. This is basically like an art project in a way. And what's cool about these kind of fashion brands is that they really just can sell anything. I mean, they have all these different products. And let's just look at their best sellers, though. So their best sellers are these jeans, which, funny enough, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but we were talking about barrel bag jeans, almost like a year ago. Actually, no. When did we launch Shopify Lab? It was actually like 6 months ago. So I've been showing you guys some interesting trends from the Shopify Lab community. And one of the ones, I actually make YouTube videos about this all the time. I don't gatekeep anything. And one of the trends was actually barrel jeans. And as you can see, these guys, it's their best selling product. So it actually works, guys. It works to sell products that have a ton of demand. Shocker. I know it's not a shocker, but I just wanted to reiterate that. So as you see right here, lots of traffic from the US, lots of traffic from the UK. Yeah, those are big markets for fashion, so it makes a lot of sense. And they're giving away free socks if you spend like $200, I guess, which is kind of a cool offer. So let's see if we do 2 or 3. I guess it doesn't really work. Let's see, adding, boom, claim free socks. And then I add it, and boom, I get some free socks. So yeah, this is actually a really beautiful cart. Worry-free delivery. This is super nice. Lately, on some of my newer stores, I've just been skipping the cart. I've just been going straight to checkout, but I may consider doing something like this. This looks beautiful. I know a lot of our clients do it at Akemi, so maybe I should learn from them. But yeah, I'm still learning, guys, just as you are. So, but I do also enjoy teaching at the same time. So if you do need help with anything, I do want to talk about the Shopee Lab community just a little bit. I want to show you there's people in here totally crushing it. I love helping the guys in the community. It's so fun. And girls. Even our girl Chelsea here, she's a part of our team. She's running her own store now, which just goes to show how good the systems are. And the reason we're doing this as well is to help people, and also because Shopee Lab is just a really cool business. But also because I'm getting a lot of talent out of it. I'm finding some really great people that we can collaborate with, and that's sort of how I approach business. I want to build tangible ideas with people, and I want to partner with you guys on more things. But of course, I would love to partner with more people that are actually within our community. So that kind of wraps it up for this video. I found this ad just sparked this whole video, right? I just literally found this and I was like, man, this is interesting. And yeah, it's actually going straight to this page, straight to a collection page. That's another last thing I guess I want to mention. It's pretty cool. You can make these collection pages on Shopify and add little banners like this, which can convert very well. This is what they're running. So yeah, that's about it for this video though. I hope that you learned a thing or two, and that's it. Peace.